Hello, in this video, you'll learn about the writing process. What do you do when you get a writing assignment? What are the steps you should take? In general, we consider the writing process to have some of these steps. First, pre-writing, which is where you generate and organize ideas. Second, drafting. Drafting is where you simply write your essay or a paragraph, whatever you're writing. And it should be complete, but of course not perfect. Revision or revising is where you make changes to the organization or ideas in your writing. Editing is where you check the grammar, vocabulary, and mechanics of your writing. And publication is where you publish or maybe turn in your writing process, your piece of writing. While this process may seem very organized and structured, in fact, sometimes the writing process is more disorganized and it involves kind of bouncing around from one step to another instead of following just a linear sequence. So let's look at today the first step of pre-writing in a little bit more detail. There are several different pre-writing strategies that we can use when we are writing our essays or paragraphs. The first one is called brainstorming. Brainstorming simply means making a list of all the ideas that we have. We don't judge the ideas. We don't try to organize them in any way. We simply write them down. So here's an example of Alicia's brainstorming on her topic, mistakes that college students make. You see that she wrote a list of different ideas about mistakes that college students make. She didn't write complete sentences, and she didn't judge her ideas at all. She didn't try to see if they were too similar to each other or anything like this. She just wrote them down. Another way that you can pre-write is called free writing or focused free writing. In free writing, which we'll practice a little bit when we write our journals, we simply write down all the ideas that we have, and we keep our pencil moving. So we write it as a paragraph, but we don't worry about the grammar or the organization. We just keep going. If we're not sure what to write, we can even write something like, what else? Okay. It's more just to get our ideas flowing. Another type of free writing is clustering. In clustering, this is a good strategy for people who have a very visual way of thinking, like if you like art or design or maybe engineering. You put your topic in the middle. Then outside, you draw a line and connect it to another topic. And then you connect that to some more specific topics. So for example, the general topic mistakes college students make leads to one idea of not being serious enough. And that sort of has two parts, like party too much and don't do assignments. This consequences wheel is another way of pre-writing that I will show in another video. Questioning is another form of pre-writing. If you're a person who sees their writing topic and feels so nervous to see an empty piece of paper behind you, you should try the questioning strategy. For the questioning strategy, you would simply write on your paper what, who, why, when, how, and where. The WH questions in English. Then you would use your ideas, the questions, to help you think of more ideas. Okay. So for example, who makes the most mistakes? First year students. Where can students get help? It gives a list of some different places. So this will give you a lot of ideas if you're worried about looking at a blank paper. This is my own personal strategy that I made up. Let's see if you try it, if you like it. It is called the acronym called FISH, okay? And it is a way for you to think of topics related to your writing. So for each letter, there is a general topic like family, friends, education, employment, economy, society, and health. So when you have your topic, you try to think of ideas in each of these categories, and then you choose the best ideas for your writing. For example, if I'm writing about mistakes that college students make and I have family and friends, maybe I would think about some college students don't keep in touch or don't keep in contact with their family. Some college students make friends with the wrong people who get them into trouble. Education, I can think of a lot of things that students get, mistakes students might make with education, like not going to class, etc., etc. Employment means work. So maybe some students work too much and don't focus on school. Sometimes you cannot think of an idea for a category. Like maybe I cannot think of an economic, something related to the economy for this topic. That's okay. Just skip that one. Hopefully this gives you some ideas at least to get started. Many people, when they're trying to pre-write or write about a topic, go straight to this source, Google, and they search up some topics like mistakes college students make. It's a normal to do this. However, my big advice to you is if you need to look up ideas on the internet, close the websites before you start writing. Use the internet, a piece of paper and pencil. Write down a few ideas that you get from reading different articles. Then you can write the ideas in your own words when you write. Sometimes when students use the internet, they end up copying sentences from the articles. And sometimes it's even an accident, but it is considered plagiarism and academic dishonesty to copy more than 3 or 4 words from an article. It can have serious consequences at Harper College and in your academic career. So be sure you close the internet before you start writing. Later in the semester, I will teach you how to use quotes from the internet and cite your sources in your writing. That will be a different strategy that we'll use later. But for now, in the beginning, you don't need to use any external sources in your writing. So we've studied pre-writing strategies. We'll see in the next video how to apply them and how to start using them in our own essay.